Um, ah,
I did
we
it.
did it. We did it. You did it. It's pretty darn easy, like it's such a lovely uh, format. Facebook Live was a little bit harder. There you go. Position so I want to see your pretty face.
Let me see if I
Um,
can get this positioned. I had it all set up, and then it's a little
right, I
different
know.
when
And
you're
then you
a
look at
little
the
different once
cropping.
you're on
It's
here.
like get the cropping right. It's fine.
Let me. I might end up just holding it because I don't.
Sure, go. No, because then your hands aren't free. You can prop it down.
Okay.
Swami. There you go. There you go. Natural jewels, bath beauty, orange, all these sweet peeps. I have to wave. I have to wave. Of course, it feels like a start of the week, a fun Monday. Although this is my birthday month. When you have a birthday on July 1st, you sort of feel like the whole month is yours.
I know. I know the feeling. I'm a May baby.
You're a May baby. May what?
May 11th.
May 11th, right? We just take it all. We take it all. So what you are in San Diego, correct?
I am.
Um, I first of all, you are quite an artist.
Oh.
The way you photograph products, the way you video products, it like you'd think that you'd gone to film school for decades
Thank
to
you so
do
much.
what you do.
Oh, you're so
Yeah,
kind.
it's really like here at our office, we get so excited when you do any sort of content for us because we just know and I come from an entertainment industry background, right? I've been an actress, I'm a photographer, I've shot music videos, like really hit music videos and high res editing and the red camera. So my standard of content is kind of up there, and and you just nail it every time.
Oh, you are so kind. Well, I mean,
How did you get that? How did you get that talent? What drove you to do this?
Well, I've always been kind of crafty. I've never really been super artistic, and I come from a family of artists. My uncle is an architect, and my grandma was a seamstress, and so everybody had, and they could draw like you can't even imagine. My grandma used to just. I used to, when I was younger, bring her like my coloring books and be like, Grandma, can you draw this for me? And she would come out better than the coloring book. So I have it in me, but I can't draw, and I can't even draw a stick figure. My daughter is incredibly artistic, but I didn't get the drawing skill. So I started with like little crafty things. But what brought me over to Instagram and this particular platform in particular was when I started this, there was a lack of transparency, and there was a lack of nice, good quality natural products out there. They were, very much mom and pop, the pre kind of Etsy lines where people would hand scribe and just kind of wondered sometimes they'd be leaking or whatnot, and never really knew if it was old product or whatnot. As time has gone on, we have seen tremendous growth within this industry, which is so nice. But that's really where my path started. I had some health problems. I was tired of the traditional medical, getting pushed around, taking antibiotics, taking medications that were ineffective and making me sick. My brother suffers from eczema. I have eczema also, but my brother had it so badly that he looked like a monster. It was all over his body. They had him on so many rounds of different prescriptions and box treatments and this and steroids and all of this. And it never really healed it. So I started to research what natural products can do. And it led me down a path of discovering an oil called tomato oil. And I fell in love with that oil, and my brother started using it on his eczema, and he started to see some really great results. And I decided that I wanted to share about that journey and help other people find products that were natural and beneficial and didn't have the side effects that some of these other products or ones that are less natural or chemical or artificial or whatnot. Because I just think that our bodies are designed to accommodate natural products and put into our body natural things. And if at all possible and when possible, that's the path that I choose to go with. I think that we're more likely to be able to have lasting, sustainable results if it's something that our body can recognize. So that's what I recognize. And
absolutely.
So way back in the day, there were so few influencers out there. The natural, cruelty-free, sustainable, vegan realm was almost non-existent. So what I did was I actually created my own line first. And it was just a very simple line. And it was mainly hinged on tomato oil. So I found an amazing distributor in the South Pacific on an island where, not touched by industry at all, harvested from the natives in the native way and treated like a pristine, cherished plant. And had to get on a boat to ship it over. They didn't even have airplanes on this island. And I went on to Etsy because there wasn't really anything going on Instagram. This was maybe 10, 12 years ago. And I went on to Etsy and I would find other companies that I liked what they were doing. And I said, listen, I've got like a small little Instagram profile called Organic Oracle. And I'm wondering if I send you my product and would you like to send me yours? And maybe you'll do a review for me. And because none of these people had Instagram. So I said, well, you do the review for me and I'll post your review on my site and I'll post a review for you on my site too. And that's kind of how it started. And then, a couple years later, people started to send me DMs. How much do you charge for your reviews? And I was like, they're free. But
wow, this is like 12 years ago.
So excited. And I mean, to this day, I still sometimes I see influencers saying, like, complaining that they've received PR packages or things like that. I will never ever complain about a PR package. I love them. Of course, as I've gone on, I've tried to turn my little Instagram profile into more of a business platform. Yeah. But that's how it all started. And I use Instagram as my outlet so it's not, my Instagram profile is not me. It's a version of me. It's the version of me that I hope to present more often than not. I use it as a place to share my intentions, my hope, my dreams.
I love that. I think that's really, that walks that right line of where someone is like, Instagram is not, what people are putting out there, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake. But what you just said is like, it's true. We reserve the right to post stuff that we know will help people and we want to lift people, right? Like, it's very easy to knock someone down or remind someone that the world might be awful or that there's pain and sickness everywhere. But like, that's almost easy, but it takes a little more discipline and creativity to post things that lift people and inspire them. And some days you have to do it, especially if you have a business that this helps, right? That you need to do something and you don't feel like it. It doesn't mean that it doesn't make it less authentic. It just means that you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and make that pretty post that you promised to someone, whether you were paid for it or not. If you promised someone, or if you promised, if I promised my husband I would do 3 posts a week, and I may not be feeling it for the second one, but it's like, okay, outflow equals inflow. That's just mathematics of life. Outflow equals inflow. I got to outflow something. I'm not going to outflow that I'm sitting at home and I have bad period cramps and I feel like my nose is too fat. Like, why? Why not go, oh, we have a new release and this pretty body, you know, and you hand pick the joy and you put it out there. And ironically, you then start to come out of your funk because you're doing lovely things and it's getting a lovely response by 85% of the people, because you always got to give the 15% of people that's job is to just knock things down. Just know that. I tell all new actors, new influencers, expect that 15%, their job is to nullify and squash. So if you know that, it shouldn't affect you. So you're getting this 85% of love, and then you're like, oh my gosh, they appreciated that. And then you feel a little happier. And it's that dwindling spiral upward because you pulled yourself up and decided to do something. So, but the way you said that, of like, your Instagram is like the better, or it's just a version of you that you want to be more of. And I just think that was so poetically put.
Thank you. How you are such a light and just such a positive, you know, there is a difference between people who force positivity and people who generate it and push it out there into the world. And I feel it from you. I feel the love, and I feel your passion, and I feel your positive light from within. And it shows within your product, and it shows within your company, and it shows within the people who you hire within your company. And the way that you've treated me all throughout our time that we've been together. How do you do it?
I kind of operate from a place of duty, not personal gain is just below it. Personal gain, for example, might be, I don't know, me posting a really sexy picture of me in a bikini at 55 years old. All right. I don't know. That might piss some people off, but what's going to help someone, you know? Okay. It might be showing someone me climbing a rope and being fit at 55 years old, right? I'm not going to just walk on a beach and hold my camera and shoot down on myself and go, look at, I'm hot. I don't know.
Wait, why not?
I'm also married, so I'm not looking for a guy, so I don't have to do that. I'm not a swimsuit model looking for a job. I'm just a woman over 50 who so passionately wants every woman to feel better about themselves and feel more alive, no matter what they look like. And but there are things I do really feel that you know, what you eat, what goes in your body, how you live, right? Getting enough sunshine, doing enough activities of your own liking, right? Like, we all have to work jobs. It's kind of a bonus when your job that you would do for free, you know, but not everyone has a job that they would do for free. You know, let's say you know, I don't know, maybe you work at Amazon. You wouldn't do that for free, but you're doing that to make money, and it's freaking awesome because you got to like have a roof over your head. But when you're done with that, you have to then do something for you, right? And I'm super passionate, and I've seen, certainly I've worked so much with artists, and I've seen how when an artist isn't doing, and when I say an artist, I mean the human race, right? Because when someone goes, well, I'm an artist, I'm like, you know what, we're all fucking artists. You know, and I can say that after living this many years of my life, I haven't met a single person that doesn't have some art form in them, whether they play piano or whether they draw well or whether they make amazing Instagram, beautiful art, and know the right music to score on it. Cooking, the art of living, there is so much to that. And so that's the part of the human spirit that I like to inspire in someone. The art of storytelling, the art of being funny. That's really my dream. My dream would be to be a stand-up comedian for a living, hands down. More than, oh my gosh, right? Like, not something everybody knows. The joy that I get from making people laugh is far more than inspiring someone to eat good, helping them not have so many wrinkles. I love doing all of that. But if I got to pick one thing, it would be to be a stand-up comedian touring the world, in which case I'd have to know a lot of other languages, which would be awesome.
So when are we going to see your first show?
I did do a one-woman show for my 50th birthday
Okay.
at CBS Studios in LA, and it was so fun. And it had big, I had photos and music of the from the 70s and 80s, and I need to bring that back into present time.
All right.
Um, but the point being that people have to have some activity that they do purely for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think withdrawing away too much and not being around too many people and not doing anything is a scary hole to fall into for too long,
Yeah.
And I think that's why the pandemic was so difficult, because people didn't have that connection. Obviously, we know that. We've all felt like, oh, as much as maybe we get annoyed by people, we're really only annoyed by that 15%. It's the rest of us that we get joy from people. And I'm also a photographer, and I've had many people ask me, different clients, when I would shoot like every day. I don't shoot as much now because of this business, but they say, don't you ever get tired? Or if I'm directing a music video or something and I'm like just very upbeat, very charged, very energetic, and they said, don't people kind of like drain you? I'm like, no, people don't drain me. What drains me is when I'm not doing what I love. It's when I'm not working. It's when I'm not achieving my goals. That's what makes me tired, right? But when you think of like when you're doing things that you love, I had a young gal say to me, like, I work at the 99-cent store and I come home and I just have no energy. And so I had to work on her with eating a little better than just like 99-cent store chips and juices. I said, let's get some vegetables into your diet. And I said, but I also need you to create something. What would you like to create? And she mentioned something about some character, a Comic-Con character, and I made her shoot the video. And I made her upload it to YouTube, and I gave her 3 days to do it. And I said, you can delete it, but my challenge for you is you have to film it, shoot it, and upload it. And she wound up liking it, never deleting it. But I said, when you've worked at Comic-Cons and volunteered, how many hours did you work? She's like 18, 19 hours. And I'm like, did you hate it? Were you tired? Not at all. Not at all. It was so great. I mean, I had to move a lot of boxes, but I got to be around all these, characters from this movie and that. And she came alive. Like you felt the energy go, because it was something she loved doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I observe that. I've seen, I just know that people are just happier when they're doing what they love, and everything is good from it. Your skin glows more. You can sleep better, right?
Oh yeah.
Again, right?
Of course, yeah. No, I've been on both. I can relate to everything you just said. So I've been in the corporate world all my life. I'm a compliance analyst in the financial services industry, so highly regulated and very strict and structured. And I work with financial advisors who are type A, very strong, powerful, driven, a lot of time men. I've been in the industry for more than 20 years. I'll tell you, when I was in my 20s, I would get on the phone with these advisors and they would be like, you sound like you're 12. Let me speak with a man. But and that job over the years at times has drained me to the point where I had to take a break. But I've gone back to it. So I've always looked at, why do I keep going back? Why do I keep going back? And at this stage of my life, I'm trying to stay just grateful for it. So, what I like about working in the corporate world is, I'm with a group of people and we all have the same purpose and we all have the same goal and we all have the same motivation to get the same job done. Now, whereas when you're on Instagram, it's just a dog eat dog world, my friend.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all friends and this and that and chit chat and on the texts, and I have a handful of just amazing people that I have met online all over the world who I just cannot believe. But I have a lot of people who aren't that way. And so I hear exactly what you're saying. I go to my corporate job because it brings me the sense of being in a community. It
Exactly.
brings me stability in that I have a paycheck coming in. And then I use Instagram to feed my soul and to feed my passion and to feed my positivity. And that's where I find that balance. That's sort of how I do it. So I love to create. And when I start creating, these little videos we put together that are 3 seconds long or 8 seconds long, I'll tell you what, they take me between 5 and 8 hours to create.
It's true.
Yeah.
Right? Tell people that. Say that again.
The little videos that are between 3 seconds and 15 seconds long take me personally about 5, maybe 8 hours, sometimes months to create, because I start putting content here or there and then otherwhere, and then things don't match and I have to start over again. But when I'm in that, I am in it, and there's nothing else in the world that's bothering me. I'm not focused on my problems. I'm not focused on anything else. I'm focused on this piece of art that I am going to create today. And
Oh my
so
gosh, that's it. That's the key of life, is being it doesn't mean that other crap isn't going on, but to be focused on it doesn't make the crap any better, it doesn't make it go away.
Sometimes when
So
my worst moments and I'm stuck in my head, that's the only thing I can do. Like, let me see if I please, inspiration fairies, please be with me today, because I need to be able to get a couple good shots here so I can play with them and work with them. And Dior is here. I have Sky is here too, my babies.
babies, they make guest star appearances into your videos, and as you know, all the likes get even more when those little babies enter in.
I love I have Miss Sky was my first fur baby model, and she's phenomenal at getting into the pictures and knows where she needs to be. Dior is a work in progress. This is the little one, but she's my angel.
Oh yes, well you do.
So how did you? So you started in acting. You were in a vampire show, correct?
Yeah. Which I'm heading back to Serbia in a month to do the fifth one. Crazy.
Oh, cool. Very cool. So, and then I get the impression, I've read your story online, and I get the impression that, you're just passionate about this. But I wonder, what would you tell somebody who wanted to start their own skincare company? Do you need to be a millionaire? Do you need, what do you do if you are passionate about creating maybe something other besides content? Maybe you want to create something that's tangible. Where do you start?
I certainly think now it's easier than it might have been 15, 20 years ago, because you don't have to go to a retail store. You don't have to have like Macy's or Target necessarily sell your stuff to make a living at it, which is very nice that we have social media that you can use to advertise. You have influencers. And, there are definitely several different ways to enter into this world, just like the entertainment industry. Yes, you can have, a rich uncle who throws down and says, I'll loan you $1 million. And you can just kind of go to one lab and just say, give me a serum, a cream, an oil, and 2 masks, and bada bing. And then you design a great label. That didn't happen in my case. In fact, I wasn't even interested in starting a skincare line. I'd been working with this one cream with these 2 chemists, and I would give it as gifts to friends. I had never planned on like mass marketing it, and because they make it themselves in such small little batches, but everyone I would give it to just kind of would go crazy over it. And then I did, about 5 years ago, have a bunch of friends that got into the skincare, and everyone wanted to sell something on Amazon, and I'm selling Frisbees, and I'm selling hair clips, and they were like supplementing their incomes by selling things. And they're like, you should sell this on Amazon. I'm like, well, I don't know if this gal can make it in a big enough batch. I don't, and they said part of the trick with Amazon is you want to have it lightweight so it's easy to ship. And I'm like, well, I want it in glass. I don't want plastic container. So anyway, I talked to her, and she was able to make, she's like, well, I could make like a batch of 300 jars. I mean, obviously we're not talking like 300,000 or 10,000 like you'd need for retail, but 300 would fit in my New York apartment at the time, 5 years ago. And we came up with a name. It was sort of a joke, you know. I had come up with some other names, and this young guy who was a branding guy said, when I gave him these other names, he said, "Those just don't suit you, Denise. They're just kind of old fashioned. You're such an in your face kind of girl."
Okay.
And I said, "Oh," I said, "What am I going to call it? In your face cream?"
Yeah.
And he literally looked down at his computer and he wrote the words on his computer, like in block letters, "Left justified, in your face."
Yeah.
And he turns the computer back to me, and I'm like, "Oh, that looks kind of cool." And
Yeah.
I called my husband, and because I was in LA, he was in New York at the time, and I said, "Is inyourfacecream.com available?" And he paused and he paused and he said, "Nope, I just bought it for $18." And that's how we started it. And I had been using social media. I'd been using Facebook for, you know, like one of the early adopters, like before iPhones. Just when the iPhone just got a camera on it. It wasn't the front facing, it was just the one side. But I was very comfortable with using a back, you know, and I would video me doing things, and people are like, "Who's your cameraman? Who's your cameraman?" And yeah, this was like in 2003. And I would just share me renovating my house. I would share me making salads. I would do videos on I'd make a salad in a big bowl, and then I would portion it into restaurant sized bowls. And I'm like, "Look at that. That would feed 6 people in a restaurant. But for me, that's my lunch." And that's the way you need to be thinking of when you make a salad. You don't, when you go out to a restaurant, you're getting such a small amount of fibrous vegetables. They're giving you the tiniest bit. But when you make it at home, you're not just having 3 shavings of a carrot. I want you to shave the entire flipping carrot into your salad. I don't want you to just have 4 little slices of celery. I want you to have 2 full stalks, finely chopped, right? So I would do these videos, you know, I would say put nuts in pretty jars so you can see them. And when you can see the nuts, you want to eat them. Leave those exposed. They're very pretty and they're natural. You don't need the cookie jar to be in your eyesight. You need the nuts to be in your eyesight. So anyway, I got a nice group of people that liked what I did. So when I came out with the face cream, and it was on Thanksgiving 5 years ago, and I said, I'm launching this cream, and literally like the 300 jars like sold out in a couple of weeks. And it was just through my own personal, my private Facebook page. And that just really showed me that that to use the social media, I sound like my mom, to use the Walmart, to use social media just as an extension of you, your personality, things that you would tell, you know, a sister, if I had a sister, you know, and when you have something, if you write that book you want to write or sell that product you want to sell, you'll already have established a community of people that are like, "I like what she puts out there." And the ones that don't, they just sort of, you know, the algorithm sends them away anyway, you know.
True.
So yeah, that's then it became like, oh, okay, people are like, "What do you got next? What do you got next?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I don't want to do a skincare company." And my husband was like, "Dude, you've started this. It's just not right to just not continue." So then it was like, "Well, we all need vitamin C." Okay, the serum came next. "Well, we need a good cleanser. It needs to have algae and not all these sulfites." And so I went to there's 4 different labs that I work with. Because if one lab doesn't, you know, if they will only use a preservative that I don't like and think is too harsh, I won't use them, and I'll just find another lab. It's a pain in the ass. I wish everything was made under one roof. That's not. But at least everything that's made is the way I like it. And
well, your dedication to the quality of your product and your craft and everything you put out there is, I mean, it's palatable and obvious. And I mean, you guys are I'm always talking about you. I'm always raving.
No.
You know, I can't live without your line, and I just think it's it's just so nice and it's wonderful. It's great for everybody. And it's so nice that you help people in this way and share your light and your love in the way that you do and so consistently. And I really appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you, and what's your aunt's name?
My aunt is CJ. My aunt CJ, and
She's
I
got nice
she lives
genes.
up in Joshua Tree, which is the state park up here. It's really beautiful up there and just so peaceful. And so I'm going back up in a few weeks. I'll be up there for about a month. And I am just so excited to just enjoy the peace and the nature. And I guess the number, you were asking me about how do I get pictures and how do I whatever, there's really not a whole lot of trick to getting really great content except for having amazing lighting. And in Joshua Tree, the lighting is just beyond. So when I go up there, I get really, really inspired and I get really excited to create. And I bring bags of products and things with me. And you know, I try to work a little bit and play a little bit. And my aunt, last time I was there, I hadn't seen her in a very, very long time because of COVID, and she's elderly, she's in her 80s. And she's my little Italian auntie from New Jersey.
See, she's Italian. No wonder she loved my face cream.
Right? Yeah, we are very, very Italian. She's very Italian, and was New York, New Jersey all her life. Moved out here, when she was an adult, and so she lives up there, and over the many years that I've had products and been working with products, I have sent her many, many, many products. And most of the time they go to her niece or her niece or her cousins or her aunts or whatever. So it sort of starts sending her stuff a long time ago. So you're like, I'm not going to send you. You don't even use it.
Right.
But we were up there and I had your products with me, of course. And I don't know how it came up. I think it actually came up with the tints. It was your tints. And I said, yeah, CJ, I think you need a little pop of color. And so I put on a little bit of the lip and cheek tint on her. And she's like, I don't know, but I don't wear makeup in this. And I said, oh, but you like it? She said, yeah. So let me show you something else that the same company has. And I showed her the cream and she put on a little bit. She said, well, okay, if you don't need it, I guess I can take it with me. And I said, I don't need it. I have another one. And then she called me the other day, which she rarely does, but she knows I'm coming up in a few weeks. And she said, she always says it this way. If you think of it, could you maybe bring me another one of those creams? She said, only if you think of it and if it's not too much trouble. I said, I'll be thinking of it and it's not too much trouble. I said, but lady, you're going to have to work for your keep and I'm going to be taking pictures of you and putting you up on my Instagram page. She said, okay. So anyway, she's excited and I'm excited. And I just, she was one of my first people that I looked at for help when it came to skincare and what to do, and Grandma too. So Grandma was a Pond's queen and she swore by Pond's cold cream. And my grandma was a smart lady because the reason she told me to use the Pond's cold cream was because she said you can put anything you want in here and it will not grow bacteria, mold, or anything. She realized at 50 years ago or long, whatever, that whatever was in the Pond's cream was antibacterial. It had antibacterial properties. So that's why she liked that cream. And then my aunt was the first one to turn me on to cocoa butter. Remember Palmer's cocoa butter in the...
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I was maybe in my 15, 14 years old, pretty young, and said, CJ, your skin is like really, really glowy all the time. And she said, I just put this cocoa butter on my face at night before I go to sleep. And so, I'm 45, so it was a long time ago. We didn't have access to products like yours. So we made do with what we could make.
Absolutely.
And so, so my they were both kind of on the natural front. My grandma made dandelion wine. Everything was, there was, my whole family was sort of that way. When we could do things naturally or we knew a way to do it naturally, that's how we did it. So There's my story. And
See, another Italian. How did I not know? I should have that you had an Italian background. I should have known our connection, your passion, your glowing skin.
well, I'm Italian and Polish. Those are my grandma's Polish. My grandma's side is Polish. My dad's side's Italian. So got a little fire in me.
Oh yeah, and my mom's all Italian. My dad is German and French.
Okay.
So yes, it's that we've got that. But there's something the Italian, even though it's 50%, it likes to tell me it's 100%.
Oh yeah.
So I go with it. But it's
Yeah, I'm about 75% Italian, about 25% Polish.
Just rounds it all out. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not going to keep you anymore. Was this? I know that this wasn't immediately your cup of tea. Was it easy? Was it fun?
I am so glad that I did it. Definitely out of my comfort zone, but you made it so easy, and you're so lovely and so easy to talk to. And thank you so much for inviting me on.
It's you, and I just and just selfishly, I'm like, I want to chat with you. Like we do this all the time. Occasional little video, voice message I give you, but this was needed, and I'm honored that you squeezed in the time with all that you do, and so thank you, and just know that the art that you create is so loved, and we just drink it in, and so does everyone that sees it. So it's a gift. Carry on with that gift and all your many others, and hug your aunt for me.
I will. We love you, and thank you for all you do. And let's do it again, Denise.
All right, we certainly will.
Let's do it within. So I'm going to Joshua Tree in 3 weeks. I'll be there for a month. I want to be sitting on my patio in Joshua Tree with my feet up and talking to you.
Yes, and you have a little holder stick there, right? You can just.
I'm going to bring everything. I'm bringing it all.
With an iced tea and that view, yes, I'm so in.
Okay. It's a date. It's a date.
Do you have our body lotion, or do you need a body lotion?
I'm going to be sending you a little list of what I need before I go out there. I just ran out of my toner today. I can't even believe I wasn't on the ball with asking for.
All right.
And then when I'm waiting, can I ask for a wish list item?
Go for it.
You have to create it, I think. So you don't have it currently, but my wish list item for you, I am waiting for, drum roll, sunscreen.
What is it?
Sunscreen.
Oh, it's tough in the fact that we only want to use 2 minerals, titanium and zinc oxide, right? So just minerals. We want the base of it to be clean, and I keep waffling between, do I do tinted? And if you do tinted, then you have to do many different tints, unless you get one tint that works with all skin types, because that kind of mineral-based sunscreen can get a little whitish. You don't need much. And then also, there are certain legal, drug certification that you have to have.
Okay.
Yes, but all of our competitors.
It sounds like it's on the radar and in the works.
Oh my God, it's been on the radar for 3 years.
Okay. Well,
it's been on the radar for 3 years.
My wish.
I want it reef friendly.
Yes.
I need the packaging to be right. So it's been going. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then my wish was already granted. So thank you.
Okay. You're so welcome.
Talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.